part of John?
Yes. I'll play the part of circus musician. Hello, John. May I hand you a ball in your hand? This can be a call. Coffee was a ball, so he goes, hold the ball to where nobody can see anything, and John is asleep a little bit. And he starts doing this thing, and he's like, all right, now I'm gonna keep it up, and he's doing this thing. And gradually, so that's John's reaction. And he goes, all right, John, now shake it a little bit, and open your hand. Nothing happened right now, but in reality, 2 balls fell out, and so John's like, and we're looking at each other, and then he starts doing this thing, and he's like, all right, we're gonna fix you up a little bit, John. So he's going around, and, oh yeah, we gotta fix you up a little bit, so make sure you do this. It's not gonna be impressive because I can't do anything. Make sure that's not too all right, you're all set, make sure it's tight, okay, nothing pushing that pocket, all right, you're good. Thanks a lot, John. Come in. So John walks away, wait, John, you might want this, and he pulls his wallet out. And he opens it up, he goes, let me look through it first. And he opens it up, and it's like a passport. It's all his money because he's visiting from Boston. So it's like everything John needed to get back to Boston. And then he's going, all right, now you're free to go. So John goes back. And then he goes, wait, one more thing. And none of us really realized it. Like, we didn't really know. I'm sitting on stage. I'm as far as you guys are from the stage watching this happen. And then he goes, you might want this. And he pulls his tie out of his pocket. And we're talking to John later, and John's like, guys, I tie a double Windsor knot, which is double knotted, and I keep it so tight that I can feel it, like feel the pressure on my throat. Because I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea. And so he's sitting there like, I can't take my tie off on set. I'm going, how do I help me? Jensen, help! And meanwhile, we got to see it. So it was a lot of fun, and I highly recommend it.
I don't know what's more amazing, the fact that he could get his tie off without him knowing, or the fact that John wore a tie to a circus.
That's true. I didn't really think about that.
I think people did that anyway.
What about, did anybody here for more than a week? There was a good play in town, Glengarry Glen Ross, did y'all see that? I feel like I'm like the Vancouver tourism board. I have pamphlets for all the restaurants. Know a good place to eat. What else y'all been doing? How was Jason's concert? I heard we lost one though.
He's making people faint now? Is that?
Yeah. Will somebody faint for us? I feel bad. I'm like, Jason's like Elvis. He's like the Beatles. We don't have any fainters. It's those musicians, those dream musicians.
But we hear she's doing all right. She's still in the hospital, I believe. But so
we're all gonna send her our love.
We're pulling for her.
Yeah.
We're gonna send her some stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's about right. She came all this way. So, who came from the farthest first time? Where'd y'all come from? Nice. Welcome. Welcome.
That is pretty far.
Across the ocean. Are your arms tired? From all the flying. I have a funny story about Misha. Did y'all see Misha? Maybe he might already told it.
You seen him about her yesterday, right?
Did he tell you about his phone? After all these years, I'm still going like, oh, they can't hear me. I need to find the middle ground. Yeah, that was a little bit of a... Misha and I sort of have a love-hate thing going on, so most of the time it's hate. But
if Jared was a cat, then Misha would be the ball of string.
That's true.
It's essentially...
Kind of hit him around.
They were like, just batting him around.
All right, I'm done. I need that. That's what I tried.
So yeah, so tell him about the...
All right, well here's the real story, because I'm sure he embellished it. It being Misha. So, Misha has a lot going on right now. He's not working a whole lot. I think he had the first 3 or 4 episodes off or something.
He's worked like 2 days this year.
Yeah, which ups the hate on my part. I hate him. I read the script, he's not in it, I hate him more. He's not in it, I hate him more.
So he still gets paid for all the episodes.
Yeah, he's still cashing in, so he's sending us texts.
He's like ching while he's off, flying, vacationing with Vicky.
I think I got a text, I think it was like 2 a.m. on a Friday or a Saturday, and I'm like, Misha sends me a random text, hey, you on set? It's like, yeah, what's going on? Like, you need help? I'm thinking, his wife is on labor or something. He's like, no, I just want to let you know that Warner Brothers is paying for our kayak vacation right now. So, he's like, yeah, I'm kayaking on Salt Spring Island. Thanks, Warner Brothers. Thanks, Supernatural. And so, meanwhile, we're like freezing and working and getting straight up. But he's had a lot going on, so we put sort of a moratorium on our pranks at each other. But there's kind of a little caveat, there's a little rule that if someone just opens themselves up for a prank, then you got to. And so it's a day on set.
Yeah, A, you don't pull your car into the parking lot and leave the keys.
Yes, yeah, Jensen got it too. Yeah, that's right. Stuff like that. You don't pull your car right in front of our trailer and leave your keys.
That car's not going to be there when you go. Period.
Yeah. So Misha's a big
Unless it's Cliff's truck, and then you just leave that alone.
He's bigger. Do y'all know about Jensen stealing his car? Oh.
The phone's better. Tell the phone. I just moved his car onto Soundstage 3
Yeah, he didn't know.
and left it there behind a big translate, which is a big kind of, the cityscapes that they hang
Right.
outside a window so it looks like we're in downtown.
Right. If
I hid it behind one of those. It was funny because
this wall.
here I come pulling into, a door this size with this car. Was he have an Audi or something?
Yeah.
We're pulling in, like all the crew guys were like, no. And then they see me, they're like, right this way.
Who's driving on some? Oh, this way, sir. This way. Let me clear the dirt.
So, but then Misha left his phone or something.
So Misha, he had to work on this episode, and
What an idiot.
he literally had to work one day, like for 3 or 4 hours, and he was done. And I don't know, for those of you who don't know, maybe he hasn't talked about it. Misha's a huge runner, a huge, massive runner. I think 2 weeks ago, he ran a marathon on Saturday and a marathon on Sunday. My eyes light up, and I'm like, okay, I know he's gonna have a kid in a month, but he's opening himself up for this. And so I grab it. And the thing about shooting here in Canada is that we're all still U.S. citizens, so we have U.S. phones. Now there are plans in the U.S. that you can call from the U.S. to Canada, from Canada to the U.S., Canada to Canada, and it all costs the same. It costs a minute or whatever, of your minutes, it costs one of those. But if you text, it costs 50 cents. And so I was like, oh, Misha's gonna pay. And so I ended up texting out letter by letter. I was like, I can text myself. Like, that way I know like someone will freak out and like block me or like say, stop texting me. And so I started texting myself. I should keep better track of my belongings and make sure that I don't leave my new iPhone, my set switch every time. But like letter at a time. So I send like I send, S send, H send, O send, U send. So I'm sending like 100 or 150.
And then Jared realizes,
one
wait a
letter,
minute.
yeah. And so
Every time you receive a text, it's 25 cents.
And so I'm laughing. I'm like,
I got you.
Yeah, and I was like, why did I text myself? Because it costs 50 cents to send and 25 cents to receive. And so I was like, however, I also did make
$40 later.
Yeah, I think I made a phone call.
Yeah, then Jared comes up and he's like, how do you call China? I want to call China.
We have our Key Electric, our head guy, his name is Chris Cochran, and his wife is Chinese. And so I'm frantically looking for him, like, where's Chris Cochran? Where's Chris Cochran? Everybody's like, what's going on? I'm like, I gotta call China. They're like, what's going on? Don't ask, just where is he? I gotta call China. Because I don't know how to dial out. I'm pushing like 011 that usually does something, 853-2543-3555555. And it's like, we're sorry, this is not, okay, hang on. Finally I think it was Thailand or something. It was very, is anybody Thai? Well, it's a very like staccato, like like isn't it very? I don't want to do a crappy impression of my interpretation of the Thai language, but it was very sort of like from the movies when someone speaks.
You gotta do it, man, because I'm interested.
Anyways, it sounded like
so
that.
offensive.
It was just very awesome. It was very abrasive. And so I'm just trying to keep them on the line because I'm trying to keep them. So luckily I didn't call myself, but I ended up just pushing buttons until finally somebody answered. And then it was a guy speaking a language I didn't know. And then it was like 45 digits for the phone number. It was like 011, call. Yes, I got somebody. And so I'm trying to speak really slowly because I don't want to just hang up. I want to like stay on the phone for a little bit. So I don't know how much it is yet, but he should get the bill, sir. So I'm very proud of myself. But now we have to like take it, now we have to be nice to him. He's gonna be a dad.
No, we don't.
No, we don't, right? You're gonna give some ideas of how to get him when he's
Just be nice to the kid.
We'll be nice to the kid. However, we might do the whole baby switch thing with like, oh, it's a nice baby. And then I hand him a doll or something and Jensen drops it. That's always good.
Yeah.
As long as the big is nice.
I mean, who knows if it's his kid anyway? I was credited with directing it.
What do I do?
Yeah.
You get to work with Jim a lot.
Yeah, it was, Jim wasn't here. No, Jim wasn't here. The creation isn't like Jim.
Y'all don't like Jim. Y'all like Jim? Y'all like Mark Shepard?
Yeah, that was pretty much the episode. Actually the episode was called Weekend at Bobby's, and so it's kind of a big day in the life of Bobby Singer, which was great because as a first-time director, how would you not want Jim Beaver as your lead actor? So that was awesome.
Because if you could have Jared.
Then I would have been over budget. I would have been behind schedule.
I love Jensen calls me in the summer and he's like, hey man, so I'm directing this episode and totally by chance, I swear I didn't request it, but you're not in it a whole lot. Once again, I want to stress, I didn't request you not to be in it a whole lot. I really wish you were there all the time. But anyways, I'm giving you as much time off as possible.
I'm like, yeah, enjoy your extra week of summer. Because,
he was very gracious though. He got me a whole extra week of summer. So.
But it was a really cool experience, and I'm sure I'll answer some questions about that later. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work. It's amazing how many questions directors have to answer. I mean, it's like 24 an hour, and it's simple questions. Do you want the red one or the blue one? Do you want the silver gun or the black gun? Do you where do you want this pillar in the room? Do you want it on the right side or do you want it on the left side? Which way is your camera going to go? Because we need to paint that wall. Do you want that wall to fly out or do you want that wall to? It's like,
I'm tired.
Shut up! And I was told that you can't, even though you want to say, it doesn't matter, you pick. I don't care. You can't do that because that just immediately diminishes that person's responsibility as a crew member. If they're coming to you with an honest question, like, look, I have this and I have this, which one do you want? And if you look at them and go, I don't care, then why would they care about the decision? So you really kind of have to make a decision on everything. You don't have to live or die by it, but it's, there was a lot of little lessons like that I learned that it's helped me kind of appreciate that position a lot more. So.
It's cool. It'll go behind that. So
yeah.
I watch all the videos, so.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't get to do is do the editing process, because we shot it as the first episode of the season, but I think it's going to be aired the 4th episode. But because we shot it first, we went right into the season opener filming, which I of course was in very heavily. I was in every day, and so I couldn't. Yeah, how many days have you had off this year?
Not a lot. 7 or 8 days off. No.
1. Yeah, we're on episode 6. Anyway. I'll save that for somebody else who can do something about it.
The hallway.
Yeah.
That's the exit when you hear like, damn it.
But I didn't get to do post on the show, and I didn't get to really get through the editing process. So that was one thing that I missed out. But all in all, it was a really cool experience. Jim was awesome to work with. And it was mainly Jim and Mark Shepard who plays Crowley. So yeah, I hope you guys like it. And if you don't, then please be kind.
If you don't do it on like a secret website.
If you don't like it, then pretend you do.
Didn't you do it on supernatural websites and then on other websites go like, yeah, what the hell? At least Jared wasn't in the hole.